Ionic and Covalent compounds.
By Camden. Now, what exactly is an ionic and covalent compound?
Ionic compounds are formed when atoms transfer electrons from one to another, resulting in positively and negatively charged ions that attract each other.
Covalent compounds are formed when atoms share electrons, resulting in a bond between two non-metal atoms.
Ionic compound examples: sodium chloride, magnesium oxide, calcium fluoride, and one more is potassium bromide.
Covalent compound examples:
carbon dioxide, dihydrogen monoxide, nitrogen trifluoride, and one more is sulfur hexafluoride. How exactly do you read chemical formulas? Each element is represented by a chemical symbol, for example, H for hydrogen, O for oxygen. The first letter is always capitalized. If there's a second letter, it's lowercase, for example, and Na for sodium.
What are some other ways you could read chemical formulas?
You can look for subscripts. If there isn't a subscript, then that means there's only one atom of that element. You can look for groups of atoms, and you can look for parentheses.
Wow, interesting. But what do you mean by groups of atoms in parentheses in a chemical formula?
Groups of atoms refer to polyatomic ions, which are clusters of atoms that carry a charge and act as a single unit in a compound. For example, in calcium nitrate KNO, the nitrate ion NO is a group that consists of one nitrogen atom and three oxygen atoms, and it carries a negative charge. Also, parentheses are used in formulas to indicate that a group of atoms is repeated. In the example KNO, the parentheses show that there are two nitrate ions in the compound. So instead of writing CANCOV, we use the parentheses to keep the group together and clarify the structure of the compound.
Wow, this makes sense now. So it works like this. I look for the elements first, then check for subscripts to see how many atoms there are. If there's no subscript, I know there's just one atom. I also look for groups of atoms in parentheses to understand the structure, especially when they're repeated in the formula. It's like breaking down the compound into its parts.
Exactly, you've got it. Understanding how to break down the formula makes it much easier to see how the compound is put together.
Like and subscribe.
Ho, ho, ho!